Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a massive and honestly a highly contested mystery. We're talking about the environmental accounting happening right now behind the whole artificial intelligence infrastructure boom. To do this, we're going to base our analysis directly on the findings from Chapter 2 of the Virtualization Options LLC report, which really gets into the weeds of how this environmental impact research is actually done.
So right out of the gate, we've got to ask ourselves this central question. If all these tech giants are out there claiming net zero emissions, why is AI's environmental footprint turning into such a huge controversy? I mean, it's kind of like a paradox, right? We're constantly seeing headlines about green tech and sustainable computing, but behind the scenes, there's this massive brewing storm over what's really happening on the ground. Today, we're going to peel back the layers on this. We'll look at the accounting tricks and see what the data actually shows.
Because, the cloud isn't just some invisible magic floating up in the sky. It's highly physical. The rapid explosion of AI has triggered a very real construction boom, especially across the United States. You've got companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Meta building these sprawling, incredibly power-hungry facilities. And the report notes they're doing it at a pace that has literally outstripped the capacity of independent science to even evaluate it fully. So we're dealing with some really profound questions here regarding electricity consumption, massive freshwater withdrawal, and greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1. The net zero illusion and what tech companies actually report.
So big tech aggressively argues that their massive AI build-out doesn't conflict with our global climate goals at all. And how do they justify that? Well, they point straight to their massive investments in direct power purchase agreements, or PPAs, to source renewable energy. Because they're buying green energy to run the servers, they claim carbon neutrality, or that coveted net zero status, based entirely on their Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions. Basically, they offset their direct operations and the electricity they buy, and then they present that to the public as the whole environmental picture.
But there's a lot more to the story. Section 2, the Scope 3 reality, peeling back the layer. To understand this, we absolutely need to nail down this specific piece of terminology: Scope 3 emissions. This definition is quite literally the crux of the environmental debate outlined in Chapter 2 of the report. Scope 3 is a much broader category. It includes the entire supply chain. It covers the hardware manufacturing, the physical construction of these giant data centers, and even the grid-wide cascading effects of all that extra power demand.
So it's a classic comparison. Tech companies are heavily relying on Scope 1 and 2, again, their direct operations and purchased electricity, to claim net zero. But independent researchers argue that by excluding Scope 3, all that hardware supply chain stuff and the grid impacts, tech companies are basically ignoring the massive hidden costs of their infrastructure boom. They're literally only looking at a fraction of their actual carbon footprint.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Carnegie Mellon study, exposing the true cost.
Get this, a pivotal study from Carnegie Mellon University found that when you fully account for Scope 3 emissions, the net zero claims of these major tech companies are overstated by a factor of 2 to 4. 2 to 4 times. That is absolutely massive. It means the true environmental footprint of this AI build-out is radically larger than what we're seeing in standard corporate sustainability reports. This independent analysis is a major smoking gun in this whole accounting debate.
Now, you might be wondering, where exactly are all those extra emissions coming from? Well, it's the manufacturing supply chain. Just making the physical hardware for AI creates a giant carbon footprint. We're talking about super energy-intensive semiconductor fabrication. We're talking about the heavy environmental toll of extracting rare earth minerals. And of course, the incredibly complex global assembly of millions of servers. The report explicitly points out that these manufacturing steps alone create emissions that completely dwarf the actual day-to-day energy use of many data centers.
This leads right into Section 4, the battle over evidence. Follow the money.
So why is there so much conflicting research in the news? The Virtualization Options report actually maps this out perfectly. It categorizes the research sources into 3 distinct camps: industry-aligned, advocacy-aligned, and credibly independent. And each group brings a totally different methodology, funding source, and overall tendency to the table when they evaluate AI's impact. Let's break these down quickly.
First up, the industry-aligned research. The report impartially notes that groups in this camp, like ITIF or EPRI, systematically lean toward lower impact estimates. And the reason why is pretty straightforward. They're largely funded by tech companies. When the industry, with a direct financial stake, funds the research, the conclusions routinely, and perhaps unsurprisingly, turn out highly favorable to the continued build-out of more data centers.
But on the flip side, we have the advocacy-aligned research.
The report points out that environmental groups like the NRDC or the Sierra Club also have a bias, just in the exact opposite direction. They systematically lean toward much higher impact estimates. This is driven by their environmental mission framing. And because they're so mission-driven, their methodological rigor can actually be highly variable depending on the specific study. So their mission naturally shapes their findings, just like corporate funding shapes the industry side.
And then we have the third camp, the credibly independent researchers, like the folks at Carnegie Mellon or Princeton. But here's the wild, ironic part. The report literally describes their work as the most reliable but least cited in regulatory proceedings. Think about that. The highest quality, most objective science, the stuff without the industry funding or the advocacy framing, is the exact research being marginalized when actual policy and permitting decisions are being made by regulators.
So what does this all mean for us? Why should we care about this carbon accounting debate? It matters because these aren't just abstract academic arguments. These contested numbers dictate where, whether, and under what conditions AI data centers get built. They directly influence our local electricity grids, our freshwater access, and the social costs taken on by the communities hosting these massive facilities. These accounting tricks literally reshape our physical world.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The next time you see a headline celebrating green AI or an article claiming some massive new data center is perfectly net zero, ask yourself, who paid for the research behind it? Are they just looking at scope 1 and 2, or did they actually include that hidden scope 3 reality? Knowing how to read the data behind the headlines is your absolute best defense. Stay curious, stay critical, and remember, when it comes to the infrastructure of the future, the math really matters. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.